Well, Donald Trump just left a secret message for the entire world to see on his desk, and he did it just hours before Chuck Schumer's and the Democrats' shutdown. As you know, our United States government is officially closed, at least portions of it. I'm going to get into what portions of it later on in this video. Not only that, but I've also got information that the Democrats have something major planned immediately after this shutdown. And quite frankly, it is going to boil your blood when you find out what it is. And to be honest, not a lot of people have talked about this issue, nor have they talked about the secret message on Donald Trump's desk. Let's get into that. For starters, Donald Trump has been trolling Hakeem Jeffries all week. He published this funny meme or AI meme on his social media account, but what happened just hours before this shutdown, I think, is key to everything. Take a look at what I'm talking about. And it comes in the form of 3 pictures that Donald Trump posted to his Truth Social page. I'm going to start with the first picture here. And you can see you have Hakeem Jeffries, Mr. Chucky Schumer, and Trump 2028. Again, this picture came just hours before the government was shut down. And then the second picture here, again, you still got Chuck Schumer there. You got the Trump 2028 and then our GOP there in the back. And the final and best one here, and they were all posted within minutes of each other, by the way. But here's Hakeem Jeffries. Donald Trump's pointing at him, and he's got that Trump 2028 hat staring right at Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer. I'm sorry. Look, here's the fact. We all know Donald Trump is not running in 2028. It is a joke, and it is one of the things that Donald Trump does. He likes to troll people. He is trolling the Democrats in this case, and he's trolling them because I believe they were literally about to shut our entire government down, or portions of it, right? So this is the meeting that they had just before the shutdown. And it's the ultimate trolling. Obviously, Donald Trump doesn't intend to run for 2028, but people like Hakeem Jeffries and the Democrats are like, oh, yes, he does. Yes, he does. And it's just BS. Donald Trump isn't going to run. Now, the reason that I believe he did this, it's just a message. It's for a message to the Democrats specifically. Look, you guys are going to be idiotic and close down our government, which is a really bad idea. Then I'm going to put this hat on the table because that too technically is a bad idea and isn't going to happen. So I think it's a message to the Democrats saying your stupidity is showing, and it really and truly is, and he trolls them to the max. Now, before I get into some of the other stuff, I got to remind you guys, get to restrictedrepublic.com. I'm putting out an exclusive report on there today. I really hope to see you guys there. Lots of people have been joining in lately. I don't want you to miss out. So right now, use the coupon code Lisa and the number 5 to get it for $5 per month. I really hope to see you there. But check it out, and check it out now. We've got exclusive content, and you get 14 days free, by the way. I really hope to see you there. But with that, the sad truth of this is this is the Democrats' fault. I'm not really going to lay this on any other person because they are asking for radical agendas and radical things that we should have never even considered, right? Here's what I'm talking about. The Iowa GOP kind of put it really well on their X page, and it says Democrats are willing, or they did, as of now, shut down the government in order to fund their far left wish list. Okay, and here's their demands, right? They're not even logical demands. They want free health care for illegal immigrants. This is already illegal, by the way, but they were able to accomplish it through loopholes. That's why they keep going on to mainstream media news sources, and the Democrats are saying, that's not what we're doing. It is what they're doing. And they've been doing it through loopholes. What we are passing now makes those loopholes, shall I say, less impossible. And it keeps our government running. We cannot afford to pay for illegal immigrants. While, by the way, you and I are still paying for healthcare. They also want $500 million in handouts to liberal media. Oh, hell no. We just passed an entire reconciliation package where we got rid of that money to, PBS and NPR. And now they want to give it back. Oh, hell no. A $50 billion cut to rural hospital funding. Do you know why they're targeting rural? Because there are more Republicans in rural areas and they want to get rid of the hospitals. I don't know about you, but that is BS. So in other words, they want to get rid of that funding and give it to illegals. I mean, OMG, that's bad. And of course, billions in DEI and climate schemes overseas. We already cut all of that in the United States of America and they're wanting to give it back. So basically what is going on here is they want to make a performance. They want to pretend on media. They're making a performance. It's all a propaganda show for the Democrats because none of this stuff should absolutely be agreed upon at all. Donald Trump already went after DEI. He already got rid of the climate stuff. He already got rid of the handouts for the liberal media and already put stuff in place to stop illegal immigrants from getting health care. I mean, this is insane. I got to tell you on a side note, I was texting ChatGTP, asking some questions on ChatGTP because they get right down to the thick of it. And I was asking a question about illegal immigrants. And it goes, first of all, there is a proper term to use for illegal immigrants, and that is that you should call them undocumented citizens. And I said, oh, really? To ChatGTP. I don't know if ChatGTP likes me fully, but I responded back. Not that I care, but I responded back and I said, let me ask you a question, ChatGTP, before we even get to what I was asking. I said, how is it that you can use the word undocumented and citizen in the same sentence? After all, in order to be classified as a citizen, you must have documents. Your two terms don't go together. You have to have documents to be proof of a citizen. If they don't have documents, how can you call them a citizen? And ChatGPT is like, oh yeah, you're right. That makes sense. Anyway, all right, back on to what is going to happen. Now that Chuck Schumer and the Democrats have shut down the government with this Schumer shutdown, what's going to happen? Well, let's go to this. I've got a great article on Zero Hedge here. Government shutdown where 750,000 federal employees are going to be hit the hardest. The U.S. government partially shut down at midnight for the first time since 2019. Not that long ago, by the way, after the Senate rejected a stopgap funding package. It goes on the federal jobs front. A congressional budget office estimate that 750,000 employees could be furloughed. Agencies have activated contingency plans that will begin sidelining these workers today, resulting in the suspension of a wide range of services. Schumer's shutdown Dubbed the Schumer shutdown, the effects of a shutdown on the economy will entirely depend on the duration. As far as duration, right, JP Morgan's chair of global research, Amy Ho, told clients there is a 70% probability of a potential government shutdown lasting around 11 to 15 days. And by the way, our GOP and our Republicans better not cave to any of these demands. These are all unheard of. But the article goes on to give a quick snapshot of what's closed and what's partially closed and fully open within the federal government. So you could see that. I'm not going to get into that because I'm going to get more into the details of department by department. And I'm going to go through these rather quick. But Bloomberg notes that roughly 1/3 of federal employees will be furloughed during the shutdown. So what is actually impacted? Well, Homeland Security, DHS will furlough nearly 23,000 employees. The Department of Defense, all active duty troops keep working, and however, their pay could be delayed. State Department, about 1/3 of them are going to remain on the job. In transportation, air traffic control and safety functions will continue, and travel, by the way, will be unaffected. Social Security, monthly payments like retirement, disability, supplemental security, income benefits will continue during a shutdown, right? So those are still going to happen. About 97% of VA staff will continue continue working. And the Justice Department, 90% of the Justice Department's employees will keep working. So portions of them will be furloughed, portions not. And I'm just skimming the surface on these as well. And then we have the IRS. Basically, they're going to continue their functions uninterrupted. And I say a big boo, boo, and no to that. Nobody wants the IRS running. I wish we'd just get rid of them. Commerce Department, Trump's trade agenda is shielded. The Department of Labor, the Bureau of Statistics Labor will also shut down. So the Labor Department is shutting down. Then we move on. Health and Human Services, they're going to furlough about 32,000 employees there. Education will furlough about 87% of staff. Agriculture, most of the department will go under furlough. And then we have Interior. The National Park Service will keep sites open to visitors during the shutdown. Energy, they will suspend data releases as far as housing and urban development. That'll go on as normal. Small Business Administration, PPA loan forgiveness will continue, but most new small business loans, entrepreneurial training, and export programs stop. NASA, about 80% will be furloughed of some of the staff there. Same with the EPA, 90% furloughed. And then financial regulators, 400 staff focusing on urgent enforcement while, they will keep, sorry, that kind of got out of my way. Financial regulations will keep fewer than 400 staff on Securities and Exchange Commission. The FTC will keep about 1/3 of their people on. The White House, their staff, most of them will be furloughed. And then we have Congress. They continue to be paid. Boo, boo, boo. I think if you're going to shut down something, Congress should not get paid. Just my 2 cents. The courts will keep operating through the 3rd, right? And then mail services will continue as usual. So there's kind of all of that, right? Here's the thing. Is this shutdown going to work? Usually not, right? History suggests that shutdowns rarely succeed, right? In 2013, the Republicans' gambit to undo Obamacare collapsed. In 2018, Democrats had a standoff with DACA. It collapsed and died out. And so historically speaking, I believe the Democrats hopefully are going to lose on this one. But with that in mind, what's interesting is the New York Times put out a poll, right, on Republicans and Democrats and independents on whether or not we, Americans, actually want the shutdown. And what's interesting is a large number of Democrats said, no, we don't want this shutdown. Take a look at this. This is the New York Times Siena poll, right? Views on whether the Democrats should or should not shut down the government. And you can see, and I'm just going to show you the Democrats here. The Democrats, 47% of them said they should shut down the government. 43%, that's high, said that they should not shut down the government. And you've got a big chunk in the middle of independents. Independents are at 59, Republicans 92. So overall, 65% said no. Interesting. Now, what you're going to laugh about is Chuck Schumer came out on the floor and he was crying about the bias in that New York Times poll. This is a radical left poll. New York Times is a radical left. And Schumer acts like there's a bias in that poll, which there's not. And the whole room actually cracked up. I got to show you this because it is hilarious. Take a listen to this.
Now, I know the leader is going to show a poll that says that Democrats will be blamed for the shutdown. There are many more polls that show Republicans are blamed. The question in that poll is biased. Biased. In the New York Times, but it's biased. If you turn the...
It's biased?
That's true. I don't always believe the New York Times.
Oh, whatever, dude. Whatever. Everybody cracked up because everybody knows that the New York Times is a radical left media network. And your own media network is basically against you. And you had to call it bias. I mean, it's funny. Chuck Schumer, it's a Democrat shutdown. I hate to tell you. Now, speaking of the Democrats, they are very, very, well, their true colors are showing. And they really don't care about the shutdown at all, I don't think, because if they did, They would be acting a little more somber rather than planning a luxury vacation to, a Napa retreat. Yeah, this is what they're doing right after the shutdown. This is on Fox News. Democrats plan luxury Napa retreat as government shutdown threat looms over Congress. It goes on. Dems have come under fire for planning a luxury jaunt to California's wine country while Washington heads to possible government shutdown. The Democrat Senator Campaign Committee, chaired by Kristen Gillibrand, allegedly invited lawmakers to an expensive 2-day Napa retreat from October 13th through the 14th at Hotel Yunterville, a 5-star resort with hot tubs and vineyard views, according to an invitation obtained by Political Playbook. If Congress fails to pass funding legislation before the end of September, the government may still be shut down when some Democrats gather for wine, tours, and dinner, the outlet reported on Sunday. And here is a picture of this nice little resort that they're going to be going to as Americans are suffering from the shutdown. This is one reason why I think Congress should have their pay deducted as well. But it goes on. The retreat was also said to include dinner at the expensive Stagland family vineyard, an organic estate known to be one of Napa's premier winemakers. Now, attendees will include Gillibrand, Senator Angela Alsobrooke, and also Democrat Representative Haley Stevens of Michigan. It is also expected to attend a Democrat briefed on the plans, told Politico. Well, how nice of them. While America gets more and more shut down, they go on a little retreat. I told you it would boil your blood, and that's just what it is. When Democrats care more about the American people, let me rephrase that. The Democrats care more about anyone but the American people. They care more about these illegal immigrants that are coming into the country, wanting to give them free health care while overlooking what's going on with the Americans, wanting to take away hospitals from rural areas while wanting to stick money in the pocket of mainstream media networks that, by the way, are 100% biased, maybe 80 to 90% bias when it comes to conservatives. Right? They're against us, and everybody knows it. And these are who they want to protect when we don't have the money to dish out for any of that on top of it all. And so, it doesn't look like they're too worried about this shutdown, because it doesn't affect their pockets personally. So don't worry. They'll be going to a fancy retreat, sipping on the finest wine, while you and I and other Americans suffer. Nice of the Democrats, right? Anyhow, I love you guys. Again, I really want to see you guys over at Restricted. Get there, sign up today, use that coupon code LISA5 to get it for $5 per month. There's a lot going on. We've got exclusive content. We post every day on there, and sometimes we do extended videos as well. Justice Knight does a lot of them that you should check out. But anyhow, I love you all. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Lisa Haven, signing out.